And I'm going to share the documents that we had yesterday. First of all, even before I start here, when you talk about artificial intelligence, I mean, what comes to your mind whenever you hear this word AI? What is artificial intelligence? So remember, human beings, we are very intelligent, all right? We are able to reason, all right? So when you talk about artificial intelligence, we are looking at these computers being able to ape and do exactly, in this case here, what human beings are able to do. Especially which type of tasks? Routine tasks. If it's a routine task, for example, like we have a waiter who moves from point A, which is kitchen, to a particular table. I mean, it's very possible for you to have a robot that is making those kind of movements, and if they're programmed very well, they'll not even be able to knock against each other. You can get like two robots, in this case here, knocking on each other. All right. Any task, in this case, ladies and gentlemen, that is routine, that automatically will be taken by who? Will be taken by this artificial intelligence, in this case here, what here? Robots here. So it will be very important for us to appreciate that the accountant, the modern accountant, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be doing, in this case here, other things. For example, you know that this AI stuff can't do what we call strategic thinking. All right. Even if they're reasoning, I mean, there is no way they'll be able to match, in this case here, human intelligence. Ladies and gentlemen, when I talk about these great concepts here, I would want straight away to come and look at this write-up that I showed you yesterday. Remember yesterday we did this from CFO.com. While artificial intelligence can handle routine tasks, accountants who leverage technology effectively can focus on higher value activities beyond mere number crunching, said MD 𝗔𝗩𝗔𝗕𝗟𝗘, Director, India of ACCA. AI is going to replace the professional accountants who do not understand and embed these technologies, he said. But AI cannot take over strategic thinking, decision-making, or emotional intelligence, he said. But AI cannot take over strategic thinking, decision-making, or emotional intelligence, he said, adding that accountants don't just crunch numbers, they can do a lot with technology and avoid mundane routine tasks. There is an acute shortage of accounting professionals in India, even in Africa, ladies and gentlemen. Many times we get people who are saying that there are no jobs for accountants in Kenya. Trust you me, it is skilled. If you are very skilled, like some of us, ladies and gentlemen, how comes I'm able to hop from one international company to another international company? And actually, in most cases, I'm headhunted. All right? Normally, what happens? Of course, I know that there is scarcity of jobs, but if you have the right skills, trust you me, you'll always be having something, in this case here, to do. There are skills once you get, you will never ever go wrong. For example, you'll get somebody who has done most of these qualifications. They have done CFFE on top of their CPAs, even BComs, MBAs, but go on the technology side of this person. You get this a person who can't run an SAP program. If you tell them that SAP has got FICO, the finance and costing module, you'll be disturbing these fellas. They do not know how to create suppliers, how to make payments. If they go to this FICO module, they don't know, in this case here, where payables are. I mean, in this era of the internet, and of course, so many, like now you can get easily guidance from Nairobi here, from some of us here. I mean, you're supposed to be knowing, as you're growing academically, professionally, and ensure that this progress is also factoring in, has also technology backing it up. You must be growing with your qualifications here, but of course, at the end of the day, also on that radar, you should be having technology going up with you. That will be very good. That will be very good. Now we are told here, while there is a shortage of professional resources, There is also glaring unemployment. Han said, the issue is with the people with the right skills. The right skills. Employment is a problem, and along with employability is a crucial concern. Employers need access to the market with talent. Even when firms outsource professionals, they would always want someone living up to the global standards. Global standards. We must match up, ladies and gentlemen. Now, application and communication skills are a major missing in the batches coming out today, largely due to the change in landscape, which also is evolving fast, he said. Effective collaboration is fundamental. Diversity has its mark too in the spheres today. Remember, today we are talking about what here? Artificial intelligence. Is it coming to replace? Gentlemen, AI will not be replacing us. According to this gentleman, AI, what will happen is that we need to know how to leverage this AI to even do much better as accountants. So there is no way you will be able to tell me that, Mwalimu, at this era, that I'm taking like 2-3 hours to write a report. Why? With this ChatGPT will be able to do a report quite fast. And of course, in this case here, more convincing, for example, proposal. What I just need to do is to give this ChatGPT, in this case here, keywords, key statements. Once I've been able to produce the key statements, then I will be able to straight away have ChatGPT saving me tons and tons of work. So ChatGPT is, among those AI, in this case here, software, technology that we must be really ready to embrace and be very good at it. You know, there are people who are already at a different level in using ChatGPT. You know, most of us in Africa here, where are we? We are still at that position where we are telling AI, correct grammar, do this and this. That is really very, very basic. Right now, people are able to do a lot, even mathematics, quadratic equations. Like in India, if you look at, for example, just like on YouTube, what people are using ChatGPT to do with, what they're able to do with ChatGPT, it's out of this world. As we are still below, because we don't know how this thing is going to shape up a life for accountants and, of course, other professions in future. So like ChatGPT is something that I would want you to be doing. Look at, for example, YouTube. Ask YouTube, how can I use ChatGPT as an accountant? You'll be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, as an accountant, ChatGPT has so many applications. Where I work today, ChatGPT, especially the one that you pay. You know, there is a free version and there is one that you pay a few dollars per month. The one that is paid for, is able to do wonderful things. Like today, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, all the artworks you are seeing us putting on artworks are not being drawn by a human being. No. All those artworks are simply go and tell ChatGPT, I want an artwork advertising opening dates for RCM. It will be able to take like 2-3 minutes. It gives you like 3 of them. And then you select one. If you want it to be panel beaten by, in this case here, a human being, that's good enough. You can still, but of course, now you have a base. So you come and tell this guy, hey, you go and do this and this. Ladies and gentlemen, like this thing of PowerPoint slides is now coming, nobody will be doing PowerPoint slides. What we just need is to do is to tell ChatGPT, I've got this report, give me 10 PowerPoint slides. Which color do you need? All right. This thing is able to do this kind of effectively, very efficiently, able to know how to leverage all this AI software, AI technologies to be able to do great work, ladies and gentlemen. And today you guys don't want to talk to me. Are we together? Are you able to hear what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? Now we are 45, but I believe we shall be able to do much better as you guys are so many. Like, yeah, this BDA, if you look at the evening class alone, it's for BDA students here. If you were to bring, in this case, students who are also so many. Yeah, and then you share it in your various WhatsApp groups. Tell those ninjas to join. Tell those ninjas to join because you're going to do very good presentations today. And with me, ladies and gentlemen, is one gentleman that I have worked with for so long. You know, of course, most of you may not be knowing this. Apart from RCM, I'm always known for the brand RCM College. I run an audit firm, which I've been having for how many years here? Talk of 2 years. Of course, we started a long time ago, but now the registration bit of it, the licensing bit of it, happened there at the beginning of last year. So then all those years at the back end, I've been working with one gentleman called 𝗖𝗢𝗨𝗥𝗦𝗘𝗦. I don't know whether he's in the house. I would want to welcome him. Let me just check out here. Yeah, I can see already he's here. Yes, Job, are you able to unmute yourself?
Hi, Daktari.
Great. So today I want us to change a little bit. I would want you to tell these young people, I call them young people because I know most of them are my students. Most of them, they are Gen Zs, they're in their 20s. I'm so sure most of these guys, they would want to come and join auditing industry, audit industry. Do you have any great words to inspire them? What do they need to do for them to become great auditors? If you may start from there, and then most importantly also, you should be able to talk about yourself. Tell them how you got to know this mwalimu here.
All right. Daktari, thank you. Thank you so much. I think I've known you now for almost 20 years, since when you taught me CPA revisions.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I've worked with you until where I am today. My name is 𝗖𝗢𝗨𝗥𝗦𝗘𝗦. I'm a certified public accountant. I've worked in various audit firms, both in Kenya and outside. But currently, I'm working with 𝗖𝗢𝗨𝗥𝗦𝗘𝗦. So we are doing audit, we do tax, and we do accountancy. So basically, what I would want to address on the aspect of how does one become a great accountant. To become a great accountant, and specifically if you want to do audit, it's all about mentorship. Whom do you work with in the field of audit that understands audit, that can hold your hand and lead you into knowing how to become a great auditor? It's key. And that's why at 𝗖𝗢𝗨𝗥𝗦𝗘𝗦, we have specialized now into raising up people who can become great auditors, training people practically into doing audit, and not just audit, but audit where there is a lot of thought process. At 𝗖𝗢𝗨𝗥𝗦𝗘𝗦, we are able to shape people, those who will fit into the tax field, those who will fit into becoming great accountants, and those who will become auditors. So we welcome all of us in 𝗖𝗢𝗨𝗥𝗦𝗘𝗦. Here, what we are doing, mostly if we are raising up accountants, we are doing our things in automation. But as we do things in automation, we are also applying the thought process. We are applying strategy. We are privy to the fact that in as much as artificial intelligence has come on board, but it cannot beat us. Why? Because we are out to use a lot of thought process, so that the artificial intelligence will just come on board to help us be efficient and save on time when we are doing our audit, tax, and accountancy. Back to you, Daktari.
Thank you very much.
Daktari?
Thank you very much. That was a very good presentation. a short one, but I hope people have been able to pick some words of wisdom. Yeah, I like when I met a student, like now Job, I was able to hold his hand a long time ago, about 20 years ago. And right now, this guy is really well established in the industry. He is currently the audit manager at 𝗖𝗢𝗨𝗥𝗦𝗘𝗦. He's doing a very, very good job. I'm so sure he has taught some of you. Is there anybody who has gone through his hands in terms of training here? Yeah, anybody who has ever gone through his hands? Yeah, you'll be able to bear witness with us that this guy is really polished and he knows his trade. So this time around, we're going to do training for accountants, as we normally do. Of course, he's the one who does it. Mine only come, in this case here, in a very, very small scale. For the practical accountancy and practical auditing, I come in a very, very small scale there. He will be able to take you through, in this case here, like, for example, how, from client engagement. How do you handle client engagement, etc.? How do we prepare the audit working papers? There are audit working papers. Like this gentleman, was it in Embo or somewhere? Somebody who was caught by ISPAC, who was masquerading as an auditor. One of the things that sold him out is the kind of an opinion that he had given. He wrote an opinion in this case here. When this opinion was picked by experts, they were able to know that this guy is not even licensed. And they went and caught him with this guy. All right. So in this case here, then you need to know from the very beginning, how do you do your work here? Then after finishing, for example, your work, how do you have, in this case here, quality reviewed? Because you can't, for example, be a junior at the workplace and then you are doing everything, initializing everything. You don't have a supervisor who is reviewing your work. That doesn't happen. So for me, how do I come in? Of course, I'll be able to come in the elements of automation. I'll be able to do like 2 sessions where I simply take you up issues to do with Excel. I'm so good in Excel. And then, of course, whenever it comes to anything to do with the audit procedures, I'm always, in this case here, on top of things. I'm the one who trained these people here, very many people here. So I always believe that I'm the best placed here because I'll be able to use those mnemonics, audit procedures, R, A, E, O, U. You remember them? I must have taught you these things in the class. Like analytical procedures. An auditor, you're supposed to be very skeptical, all right? You're supposed to be doubting everything you're told, all right? So these auditors will come and, not auditors, but managers, will come and tell you that, you know what, these things are accurate. So tell them questions, ask them, where is your PPE register? All right? What kind of assumptions do you use to compute this depreciation? Useful lives. Have all those assumptions stated down and then recompute yourself. And then, of course, you see the depreciation here is 5 million. If their depreciation is, for example, 5.2, 5.3, that difference is very small, is immaterial. As auditors, ladies and gentlemen, in this case here, we always work with material things. And that is why one of the things that will be taught by CPA 𝗔𝗩𝗔𝗕𝗦 is how to set materiality at individual company level and materiality at group level. Materiality using, in this case here, profits, assets, using revenues. Is very good at that. All right. And then, of course, the reporting aspect of it. Now, this course we're talking about, which is the practical accountancy and the practical auditing, will only be available to students who have done BDA. Or somebody, in this case, who cleared a long time ago CPA and they would want to know how to practice. That course, I can see my internet is disturbing me here. I don't know what is happening today, this Safaricom thing, but we shall overcome. That course will not be available for students who are in classes here, doing CPAs here. No. Because the course will be starting on the 2nd of September, and it's going to be a blended course. Blended course in the sense that you'll be doing it online 70%, and then 30% we expect you to come to our offices at Corner House. All right. So 30% you must come to the office. Why? Because we want to expose you to practical aspects here where you are able to see. Of course, we can't send you, for example, client's documents. No, you just have to come and get our files, computerized or whatever, and then you enter that data in Tally. First of all, you produce the trial balance. If you're given the trial balance, then how do you come up with the final accounts? And then as an auditor, when you know this auditor, when, for example, somebody like at 𝗖𝗢𝗨𝗥𝗦𝗘𝗦, what we normally do, somebody comes and tells us we have our own final account. We tell them, no, give us your trial balance. Because we have to extract final accounts, in this case here, from what year, from this trial balance ourselves. And then we compare. That is the very first thing you do as an auditor. By just extracting final accounts from the trial balance given, you'll be able to catch these guys, their thieves, from the very word go. From the very word go. Right? Because I would want that trial balance. If possible, I would want the bank statement. You know, there are those things that you ask first. All right? All right. Those are things we'll be able to show you guys. In this case here, what if you are far? If you are far 3 years, I would want, as in this case here, not to admit you. If you're very far, I'm so sorry, we not want to admit you because, you know, here, we're not going to give you a certificate of, we're not going to give you a certificate of completion. We're going to give you a certificate of recommendation. It's like we have been having you in our firm as what year? An intern or something like that. All right. And that's why the course will not be just like a 1-week course, it's going to be long-term with a lot of what year practical exercises like that. So I would only want to take, you know, we take very few people for this program, like 10 people only. And these people should be able to study online and they should be able to come over here. Because like now, those people who later on would want auditing licenses, then you have to be affiliated with us. And now training you, of course, becomes the first step to getting there. All right. Then, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you that this thing works. Like now I have a very close friend of mine. This guy will not disclose his name. And he told me that I would also have to train him. I also have to train him on this. He told me that, Mwalimu, if you want me to do presentation, then I will not speak at all. So I know there is an issue of public speaking, but I will not want that guy to just do a presentation to us. Things that I taught him, and currently, now he happens to be a CFO of a very great company in Mombasa. I'll not mention that company. Yeah, I'll not mention that company, but he's a guy that I've taught also, I think, over 20 years ago. Over 20 years ago. Let me give him, I don't know whether you'll be able to. Yeah, great. So I don't know whether you can hear me, my friend. Are you able to share your screen? If you can hear me, my friend, please share your screen. I want to show you that these things work. Proper mentorship works. Is my friend able to? Great. So like now here, what I want him to do is something very simple. We are given, in this case here, we are given a situation. You can see we have financials, revenues per market amount. He has been able to do what we call mapping, like where does this revenue go to in the financial statements? He has already been able to do that. So then I would want him to straight away give us an income statement using some ifs. Using some ifs, and I'll be able to carry a lot of interview on him here for you to see how good this guy is. And then, of course, after he finishes, was already able to use that. I wanted to say he has to. So he has been able to take column E and copied it to column H there. And I'm giving him only 10 minutes to do this. So he's removing duplicates there, I can see. So you can see out of this column E, which has got so many things, this guy has been able to condense all these to like 6 rows, where we have revenue, cost of sales, selling and administrative expenses, depreciation, finance cost. Great. And then we have others down there. Great. So dates are very important because like now this is a schedule of 3 years. A schedule of 3 years. You can see now he has been able to condense all those years into just 3 years. And what he's trying to do is to transpose. So he's transposing that, and he's able to put that into the 3 columns I, J, K. All right, great. I mean, this is a legacy that I'm leaving behind, and I see a student of mine being able to do this. So then he wants to use what we call some ifs now. See what he's going to do. Equals. Then he picks some ifs, because you have many conditions. So some range is going for column D, where we have the amounts. Column D, where we have the amounts. That is what he wants to sum. Control Shift down arrow. All right, thank you so much. And then now here, you are seeing he's putting dollars. It's called fixing of a column. And how do we fix? It's in this case here, a 4. I'm going to teach you all that. So, comma. Like that, I've seen your question, you'll be able to address it. Comma. Now you can see the next thing there is criteria range. So what is the criteria? It is those things that we have there, the revenues, etc., the years, yes. So column E, yes. Great. Just be a bit patient. You're going to love what this gentleman is doing. You're going to love what this gentleman is doing. All right. Comma. Then we have, in this case, the criteria itself, like the first one is revenue. Is he going to tie something? Yes, a H. He has to lock that H with a dollar sign. All right. Comma. We have another criteria, the years. The years is another condition. So he's going to go to the conditional year, column B. He's going to pick all that column, Control Shift down arrow. I love Excel. Control Shift. Great. Comma. And then now criteria 2, you can now see what he's doing there. He's picking those years there. 20. And then he has to lock now row 1. Lock row 1. Control. Or rather, Shift. In this case, you're able to see the dollar. Shift 4. All right. Great. Let me keep quiet a little bit. You can see as closed brackets. Then they'll be able to do what there? To enter. You can see has been able now to get revenue. So he's able now to use, in this case here, the power of pulling there. He's able to autofill, and he's able to move down. So remember, we want, in this case here, the profit. So he's going to do some abracadabra there. Let me keep quiet a little bit. So in this case here, what is the profit for 2014? Yeah. You can pick that minus the sum of the others now. Close brackets. And then you autofill. The others you autofill. So you can see this gentleman has done a great job there. All right. Using what we call some ifs. Thank you so much. The guy is Ongeri, but I'll be able to tell you something about him. Please don't go away. I'll still be giving you more work to do. But ladies and gentlemen, of course, we are not here to teach you how to do this. But when you see what this gentleman has been able to do, I mean, why can't you even clap for him in the first place? You guys, I think you really, I mean, you should be able to clap for this kind of a gentleman here. He knows Excel. You can see he's been able to pull, a trial balance, and he's able to come up with what? An income statement. Yeah, he's done it very well. Not many people will be able to do what exactly he has done. Not many. Because so many accountants think that it's about getting a BCom, CPA, Masters, even PhD. And then they forget what here? The technology part. You forget the technology part, you will be underpaid by people outside here. Get yourself with an MBA, you're only being paid 80,000 or 100,000, right? Yeah. So there are things you're supposed to be knowing. And if you can know them much earlier, then the better. Yeah. And you'll see, like yesterday I showed you something here. There are things, and I'm so sure there are my students here that are able, are there students in this room who have been my students in the past? Students of Excel. Students of Excel who have been my students in the past, and they are able to tell us here that for sure this Excel changed my way of doing things. You know, people tell me, why am I know Excel? You know nothing. Even when I got to know Excel, when I was employed by a Swedish company, I never knew Excel. I thought I knew Excel. You can see Omar Calvin's there. So, like yesterday, I spoke about this, and it's like, yes, I mean, today they brought something around this in PDA, but there's no problem. So you can see, ladies and gentlemen, a situation where this examiner has given us something. I'll move quite fast. So we are given here the teams, right? We're given here the teams, right? And then somebody comes and tells you, now give us just one team, information for one team around, called Lazio. So here I can be able to pick Lazio because, you know, the teams are very few. Lazio, Italy, no. But what if in this case here, these teams here were like 10,000 teams? How will you be able to handle this? So to handle this, because Lazio is part of a column vertical. So I will use what we call a vertical lookup. So X lookup is more powerful. So V lookup. Then lookup value. What am I looking up for? I'm looking up for Lazio. So Lazio, ladies and gentlemen, I need to come here and lock this H, because it's this H happens to be what here, an outer column. Then I continue with my journey. The good thing with the Excel, as I shall be able to teach you, we have, of course, we're given in this case here what to do. Like now here, they want me to come and pick a table array. So table array, I'll come here, Control Shift, right arrow, down arrow, lock up everything, because arrays must always be done what here? Arrays must always be locked. Arrays must always be locked. Just a minute. At times these things misbehave, but we shall overcome. Yeah, $. But I wanted it to, let me repeat. I don't want to do it manually. So allow me to come and pick this array, the table array, Control Shift, like that. And then I'm able to come and pick, in this case here, the second function. Now I can see the entire $, command. Then from there, they want me to come and give them the column index. So you see, team is column number 1. Country is column number 2, column number 3, like that. Because I want information about Lazio regarding all these columns, what I'll do, I'll come and use the curly bracket. We call it curly bracket. So this curly bracket, I'll say I want column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5, like that. Then I use the curly bracket again. So curly bracket like that. Then I have, in this case here, comma. I'm going to teach you all this, what this stands for. So I always want the exact match. Then I'm able to come and close like that. Then I'm able to come and enter. So you can see this thing is already giving me Lazio, Italy, no, like that. So if I come and, for example, ladies and gentlemen, just copy this thing down to another team, and even copy like that, I'm able to get information on Borussia. Then come, ladies and gentlemen, in this case here, and pick another team, for example, I know there must be supporters of Arsenal here. Arsenal, like that. Then if I say enter, you can see what is now I've been able to automate. So these are the kind of things, ladies and gentlemen, that all of us are required to know. Like, of course, analysis is going to be a big thing. Because you see now with automation, with artificial intelligence, a lot of it, like now most of our consultancies, by the way, because I do a lot of consultancies in terms of what here, in terms of this Excel, Power BI, I do a lot of consultancies. You know, because of artificial intelligence, now organizations are getting what we call big data. You'll be given big data. Out of big data, you'll be told, hey, please do this analysis for us. Give us the trends. Hey, draw this and this. Give us the dashboards. Give us dashboards that use Power BI, etc. So even as accountants, as we move forward, we'll be required here to be good in terms of what here to be good, in terms of a little bit of programming. Like myself, I've already done Python, all right? Well, I haven't become very good at it, but I'm so sure, should I get one project, then I'll become very good. Python uses English to code. It's straightforward. All right. Because when I have anything that is routine, then I need to code. I have just one code, like how we do the macros, if you know what macros stands. So macros at times can become very, very hectic. And you would rather in this case here code it up using Python. And then anything that is repetitive, then Excel will be able to sniff and know that this is what you want to do. Then for 2023, it will be doing it automatically. It will be iterative like that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you that the world is really, really changing. If you're not willing to change, then automatically this industry, you will not have anything to do. You remember technology, you can't fight technology. You can't fight technology. You can't fight technology. You cannot fight technology. All right. So then I mention one more thing before I close the meeting. This is what I would want to happen. We have our normal advanced Excel classes starting when? On Sunday, 25th. These are classes that we'll be giving you offers. So we have advanced Excel. We have in this case here iTax, where we teach you how to do the tax computations and the filings of the same. And then we have what we call the other accounting software, like QuickBooks, etc. I want you to do just 3. I don't want you to do 4. I'm seeing people paying for 4. No, I want you to do 3. You can do Excel is a must. Excel, you do QuickBooks, and then you do iTax. Those 3. So each one, if you pay for each one separate, is 1,000. So that's 3,000. But if you pay for the 3, then you pay 2,700 for the 3. All right. So first of all, you finish that short course. And then when you clear your CPA, like the students who are doing BDA with me, all right, who have now finished BDA, I would want them to come and join this professional masterclass for accountants and auditors. But if you're doing, for example, CPA 2, CPA 1, you start in this case here by doing the short course, the Excel, QuickBooks, and iTax. Those are the ones I want you to do because they are short, they're 2 weeks. They're 2 weeks. All right. So if I stop there, ladies and gentlemen, I think I've given this talk some justice, and I believe you have been able to pick something there. AI is not coming to replace us. We shall be able to do much more with it. Yeah, you can add 700. You can add 700 for the third, yes. You can add 700 for the third. So, hello, our Paybill. I hope you remember our Paybill is 62 42 839. Paybill is 62 42 839. Account number, short courses. And remember, we charge something very modest. Somebody who has ever been to advanced Excel classes, this just advanced Excel alone can cost 80,000 shillings. And now you are lucky because you are getting a training from an accountant. It's advanced Excel by accountants being trained by an accountant. So like now the sum ifs, you're going to see how we'll be doing the sum ifs. If I'm doing tally, no, you can still remain there in tally. But if you would want to do like our practical bookkeeping later, then I would recommend QuickBooks, because QuickBooks is the base. Even me, I started with QuickBooks, and then I went to Tally. Although Tally is equally good, but QuickBooks is the base for all these systems. Pick by the side. Yeah, well done. If you don't mind, let me give you a number here, because I would want to get like, where are you? Are you that green? For example, are you a student who has done advanced taxation the other semester? If you're good in computations, all right, and maybe you are an accountant, then your work will be quite little. So I'll be able to charge you something very, very modest. But when you get somebody in this case here who knows nothing, they have only done a CPA, they've never worked anywhere, they can't generate even any report from QuickBooks, then those ones that need more time. So I've given you my number, please. Oma is asking between Tally and the QuickBooks, which one is more powerful? This thing is software. Like now I'm a vendor, a listed vendor of Tally. Tally, which has got many currencies, all right? And if, for example, you're doing like manufacturing accounts, you are handling a lot of inventory, then Tally is super. Tally is an engine. Whenever it comes to inventory, for example, management, Tally is an engine, great engine. But like now, when it comes to like the reports, some good graphs, like this QuickBooks into it, it's desktop. No. Between audit level, like my license, our and the core license is composite. And to tell you the truth, these businesses support each other a lot. External audit doesn't have lots of money. It will be very hard for you to charge a client outside here for you want to pay, although of course now we are no longer there, but initially we used to charge like 30,000, 50,000. Now we are, but most of these firms outside here, they are willing to pay like 100,000 at most. But you see, for you to be able to get now a tax issue, normally what we do, we offer assurance and non-assurance services. So for example, most of these, you'll be able to see that they have a tax issue right away. I mean, from the correspondence. So in this case here, do you have response TTU? So when you try moving then you'll be able to get a tax issue, tax consultation starts there. There are companies that gave us 200,000 for external audit, but they ended up lucrative in terms of fees. But you see, for you to get that tax issue, you should be an auditor. I mean, the language that so many guys understand outside is the auditing language. You become an auditor, and then you'll be able to get most of these other things following you, including advisory. So normally what I do, I normally tell my students to do what we call double specialization. If you can manage to double much better. Oh, they can't hear Mwalimu. They can't hear Mwalimu. Are you able to hear Mwalimu now? Hello? Oh, okay. So then I was trying to explain something here that it will be very important if you can manage to double specialize. You double specialize. If you're not able to manage, then do tax alone. But what I know, audit and tax, they really complement each other in the industry. But again, what I know during your times, you'll get, partnership is key. In terms of auditing, partnership is key. So you get, for example, a tax partner and an audit partner. Yeah, then you come together, and then you're able to pull strings. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys are lucky. You have some of us who are willing to share this information. During our time, of course, it was very hard to get somebody who would give us this kind of information. Very, very hard. Yeah, you can finish, in this case, your BDA, and then you come back for tax. They allow you to do that. They allow you to do that. It's allowed. They allow you to do that. So you are lucky because you are able to get, people are able to mentor you like this, and then you get these courses at almost a throwaway price. You're very lucky. Because you see now the other advantage we have at RCM, like when we charge 2,700, at least we are able to get like 300 students paying. Like right now, there must be over 150 who have already paid. So you see now we are able to enjoy economies of scale, and you guys now enjoy affordability from your end. And then, of course, the students who gain most are those students who become fanatical. Those students who become, in this case, like crazy, like Mwalimu. I'm passionate. I'm passionate in this case here with what here with Excel and technology. You have to be really that passionate, yes. You must be that passionate, yes. Because even after learning, I mean, you need to be going around, trying to even get more content. All right. If you do it that way, then you'll be very, very lucky. Otherwise, if you don't do it passionately, then you will start missing out. You'll start missing out on so many things, on so many things. Will you teach in this case here, this tally part of manufacturing? Yes. You know, manufacturing accounts, how you take the direct labor, direct material, how you do the overhead apportionment. Tally is good at that. Tally is good at that. Yes, I'll be able to teach that. I'll be able to teach that. All right. So, and remember, we are going to issue certificates. In the short courses, we issue what we call certificate of completion. But these are the long course on practical accountants and practical audit. We issue a certificate of what year? Yeah, like a recommendation thing. I mean, we are endorsing you. Edwin, if you don't mind, can we take this up in this case here later? Practical accountancy starting on September 2nd. I hope, Nimrod, you have already finished your CPA, because I don't want to get like a section 4 or an intermediate student there. Great. So give this at the bare minimum 1 month. But of course, after that, then there will be practicals. We shall be able to give you files to work on. You shall be able to do, Nimrod, lots of what here, donkey work. Because if, for example, you're working, then we shall expect you to come to our offices on Saturdays and Sundays. You enter data for a whole month, and then from there, we tell you now produce management accounts from this QB. Yeah, there's a lot of that. So you can talk of, let's say, 1 month of teaching, and then another month of what you're doing, the donkey work, extracting trial balance. After trial balance, how do you get your final results? ETC, how do you do adjustments? If auditors come and tell you, hey, adjust this, then how do you pass your journals in those systems? And I'm warning you, if you know that you're a part 1, part 2, do these short courses. They really put you at a higher pedestal. All right? Because like now, most students, there's a guy called Advanced Excel here, this guy. All right? He'll tell you, those students like now, he did Advanced Excel before coming to BDA. And I'm happy because he adopted that word Advanced Excel and he has been using it throughout. Even today, when he was at KCA University doing his BDA, he wrote somewhere that the students who were able to see him, and I mean, they called him Advanced Excel, which is very good. So when you start doing this Advanced Excel very early, you get an easy time in BDA. Because in BDA, we should not be, I mean, looking at AFR, blah, 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 and then you want me to teach you Excel. No. You should come to BDA having known some Excel. Ladies and gentlemen, if we stop there, don't you think we have done justice to this talk? I think so. I want to believe, ladies and gentlemen, we have done justice to this topic. But unless you have questions, please allow us to end the meeting. Allow us to end the meeting. After all, mentorship doesn't end. We shall be doing this severally. Actually, I did a mistake. I wish I had given you the notice much earlier. You can even do another one tomorrow. I have so much to discuss with you. Otherwise, I take this opportunity to thank Job and Mr. Ongeri. Now is CP Ongeri, yes. So CP Job Madede and CP Ongeri. I mean, for having participated in this. It's not easy to call people and tell people that I would want you guys to make a presentation, and they accept. So thank you so much. We shall be discussing more tomorrow. Good night. Thank you, Chief Ninja. Yeah, then of course you get in this case certificates. How do we access? We shall overcome. Good night, yeah, Nimrod. We shall overcome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's talk in this case here again tomorrow. Advanced Excel, I never understood your language there. Of course, getting access, I expect you to pay, and then I'll be able to put you in the paid group. If you remember, you are a comrade here. You are a ninja here, Excel. I know you know that procedure. Thank you so much. Bye. Or how you can access them, then I will have to, in this case here, of course, like him, I have to ask him, CPA Kosar, I'll miss this ninja. I will miss this ninja, we shall overcome. Bye. Okay, bye. Okay, I have to talk to him and then I get back to you. Okay, okay.